Hello guys, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Lain, a certified life coach, addiction recovery coach, and now a hypnotist that is here to help you along your manifestation journey. Guys, I'm excited to share this one because a lot of people are looking for signs that their manifestation is close, but they're looking at the wrong things. I've seen a lot of content out there about signs. And as Neville Goddard even says, signs follow, they do not proceed. So when you are seeing videos out there like I have about seeing 111, 222, that is not a sign. Yes, that can show you that you are in alignment because you're seeing alignment of numbers, but does not mean that it's a sign that your manifestation is going to come in unless you assume that that's a sign. My reality, I don't assume that. I think it's kind of silly. I would rather look for these other signs within myself instead of external signs. So another thing that you might see on the internet as a sign is tarot being reflected back to you. And tarot readers telling you, yes, your person's about to come in. This is the date. This is the season that they are going to come in. And some people take that as a sign that their manifestation's coming because they just got external validation that their manifestation is coming. But again, I invite you to not look for that external validation, not to go to astrology or to tarot or to, the numbers. I want you to take your awareness off of all of those things because this whole journey is about going within. And if we continue to train ourselves to focus on the external, are we really shifting? Are we really becoming a new version of us? Because we're still so involved and invested in what our 3D is showing us. How can we ever detach if we're still using our 3D for validation? So the signs that I'm going to share with you are about within. Now, I know it might not seem as fun as looking for numbers or watching tarot cards, but these are the biggest signs and indicators that you are actually shifting into a new identity, that you are actually becoming that new version of you. And as we know, when you become a new version of self, that's when things manifest. So, with that being said, the first sign is you will notice that your emotions begin to change. You will notice that maybe you go from a state of desperation, of lack, sadness, and crying all the time, or spiraling 9 times out of 10, or feeling very anxious when you wake up in the morning, feeling very triggered by everything in your reality, maybe if you're being reminded of your specific person. You'll notice that those things begin to shift and change to where you're no longer feeling anxious. You're no longer crying or getting sad, or it's very rare. You're no longer feeling like you are disconnected from anything or anyone, right? You're no longer feeling depressed. No longer just laying around your house and not wanting to leave or wanting to isolate anymore. That's one of the biggest indicators. Because in a new identity, you would be going out and hanging out with friends. You wouldn't be isolating. Even if you're introverted, you'd be doing things that make you feel good, not just laying around crying about your specific person. Yeah, I know. Doesn't seem as much fun, but, and then even emotionally, you're noticing that you're not waking up anxious or sad. You're not dreading your day anymore. So that is the first sign. Your emotions begin to change. You'll start to have better and better days ahead, right? So if you are in a spot right now where you feel like your emotions are getting the best of you, process them. That's okay. Process whatever it is that you need to process. But with that being said, it does not mean sit in that emotion forever or for days, for weeks. Processing is, okay, I'm sitting with this emotion. I understand, or maybe explore so then you can understand why you are feeling this emotion. Was it something in your 3D reality or in your life that reflected back to you something that you didn't like and it kind of triggered you? Or was it a reminder of your person and made you feel in lack? Was it a thought or a memory that again made you feel in lack that created this emotion? And by exploring that emotion, you will better understand it. And then by understanding it, that's processing it. Okay? So we'll go on to the second sign. The second sign is now your thoughts are beginning to change. You'll notice that as you continue to affirm your new story or have self-talk, inner conversations, visualizations, and you begin to shift that identity, you'll notice that your thoughts become way different. That overthinking process that you used to have, that doubt that you used to come up all the time, pretty much every single day, is now gone, or very little, few and far between, right? And the reason why that happens is because we are retraining our mind and our body and our thoughts into a new identity. And this new identity doesn't overthink, they just trust. This new identity is more in control of their thoughts instead of their thoughts controlling them. So you'll notice a shift in your thought patterns. You'll notice that your perception begins to change because your thoughts have changed. So when you do see these things in your reality that once upon a time triggered you, you'll perceive it differently now. And you'll have different thoughts around that perception. Because now you'll perceive it as, oh, that's just something I need to work on. That's all that's being reflected back to me. You're no longer in fear of what you are seeing in your reality. You're no longer in fear of what memories that are unfavorable pop up, or in fear of the dreams that you had the night before that were unfavorable. Again, your perceptions of this old identity begin to change because now you are shifting into this new identity. Does that make sense? So at one time you were sitting there fearful of these things because you were in that identity. It felt so real. But as you begin to shift your identity, your self-concept, and truly become a new version of self, you notice that you become detached. You break free from that fear. And you can see the difference between where you are and where you were. And that fear or those thoughts, those old stories, no longer have a hold on you. You have separated yourself into the new identity. So that would be the second sign. Want to join my new exclusive membership? First, you have to hop on the computer, type in youtube.com, and then head straight to my channel. Now that you are on my homepage, look next to the subscribe button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Then next to it, you'll notice that there is a join button. Hit that, and it will lead you to the membership. The other way that you can join the membership is going on to one of my videos, and where it says subscribe normally, it will say join. Hit that button, and you can join the membership today. Thank you for listening to this quick announcement, and I'll see you there. Now, lastly, the third sign is about noticing that your behaviors change. Not consciously making an effort to change your behaviors, but you'll notice that you begin to show up differently in your life. Because now you have new thoughts and new feelings. And because of those new thoughts and feelings, you'll have different experiences. So because you're having different experiences, it then changes the belief. So you'll notice that your behaviors begin to change. Maybe before you'd walk into a store and you didn't feel confident when, people would look at you, or you felt unattractive if, we'll say you're a woman and you had men looking at you. If that's the case, now that you've shifted your identity into a version of you that knows their worth and their value, that is extremely confident, you'll notice that when you walk into a store, your behaviors begin to change. The way that you are walking is a lot more attractive, right? So usually when someone's not confident or they're depressed or they're sad, their shoulders are more slouched. Their back is hunched over. Their head is usually down and they're not making eye contact, right? But when you become a confident, secure version of yourself, you're walking with your chest out, your shoulders up, your head upright, making eye contact with everyone, aware of your surroundings, ready to be seen, right? So you'll notice that behavior changes, and it's not something that you're consciously, I got to keep my shoulders up, lay inside confident, right? No, it just naturally begins to happen. Notice that you're a lot more inviting towards people. So like you'll notice maybe out in the store when you're checking out, people are talking to you more, just making random conversation because your energy becomes more attractive. So those are the 3 signs that I've noticed on my own journey and my client's journey, that your behaviors begin to change, your thoughts begin to change, and your feelings begin to change. Those are the internal shifts that will happen. And that's how you know that things are beginning to manifest in your reality, because your thoughts are actually a manifestation of your subconscious beliefs, and so are your feelings. And of course, so are your behaviors. So again, you start to think different, feel different, and behave differently, act differently. Because your manifestation is coming. And you are the representation of that. So once you start experiencing these certain signs, internal signs and internal movement, this is how you know that your manifestation is coming. This is how you know that your specific person is shifting and changing too. Their thoughts and feelings and actions and behaviors are beginning to change, one more in alignment with what you do want, and they will come in towards you. Okay? So if you want help with this, check out in the Dropbox below. I do have coaching and hypnosis services. I do have bundles that you can check out. I have different digital products that you can purchase for like customized 8-hour sleep tapes or meditations and affirmations. All of that is in the Dropbox below. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button along with the bell icon. That way you are notified every single time that I post a new video. Thank you for joining me in this video. Hit that thumbs up button if this video helped you. And as always, guys, you got this. Now we here.